Welcome to the Football Show on PLZ. Soccer sponsored by Arnold Clark. I'm Peter Martin. Great to have your company tonight. And as ever, Ruffy is alongside me, and it's Wednesday. It's got to be Barry Ferguson. We've got lots to talk about. Here's some of the news items today. Yep, Ruffy is with me, and of course every now and then, Ruffy, I like to mention on the programme something that you haven't featured in and you can't lay claim to. Of course, you played for Celtic 1989. I don't think you feature in the Celtic musical. Barry was in it. One of our journalists told us they were at the Celtic musical, and Fergie makes an appearance. Roundly booed, I have to say, at the pavilion, but it must be a great honour to be in it.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised I get booed, but I'm surprised they've not asked me to go in and make a guest appearance. I'm disappointed in that.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually the feature of these things when you get these musicals, just to get somebody in who'll make a guest appearance. I would love to be a fly in the wall, Ruffy, when he walked out, would you?
Yeah, I think in the old the Celtic musical, it used to be at the end when there was a cake get wheeled out and one of the Lisbon Lions would pop out, you know, the cake. I think that'd be great, you know. I'd love to see the look in everybody's face when you popped out.
It'd be about 30 seconds of shock, and then all hell would let loose.
I'll be away in that 30 seconds. I'd be right off that stage.
Yeah, okay. Still great to hear that story this morning. Let's talk about something else, which, again, you seem to be at the heart of. Your old mucker, Lee McCulloch, was talking about George Peat's comments from a couple of days ago. He wanted the certain chairman named and shamed who called George Peat, the former SFA president, to say, you know, you shouldn't help Rangers in any circumstances in 2008. I mean, as Rangers captain, it was a heck of a backlog of fixtures. How do you feel when you hear that?
I was shocked, surprised. I actually watched the interview with George Peat 3 or 4 times to have a good listen at it. I don't know why he's saying a certain chairman. Just name him. George Peat's not with the SFA now. He's not in the job. So I don't see any reason why he's not naming the chairman who he took a phone call off. So, listen, there's been a lot made of it, as you mentioned, the backlog of games, and we're just looking for a bit more help. But see, at the end of the day, it's in the past. It has happened, but seeing the interview, it brings a lot of memories back, and a lot of people are questioning what went on. So I think George Peat should name the chairman who made the phone call.
Here's 2 quick questions on it, and then we'll move on from it, because as you said, it's gone. There's nothing you can do to change it. But let's just say that they gave you, you know, there was help to try and extend the season. Maybe not enough. If there was help to change and give you enough of a time to play the league games and enough preparation to play the UEFA Cup final, do you think that would have had a significant difference on the outcome of either the league or the UEFA Cup final?
Listen, that's a hard question. Look, I think it would have helped. We obviously we had a small squad. It was pretty much the same 13 or 14 players that Walter was using, that he kind of put most of his trust in. There was a few guys who were playing through niggly injuries. As you know, when you're playing 3-4 games a week or every 8 or 9 days, recovery is important. Maybe that 3 or 4 days would have helped, but would it have made a massive difference in winning the UEFA Cup, what it was called at that time, or the league? We don't know about that. We just looked for a bit more help. We never got it, but listen, at the end of the day, I don't think there was a lot of moans and groans coming out of the dressing room. We were disappointed in the decision, but we just had to go on with it. That was what the dressing room was like when the decision got made that these were the games we were going to play, or leading up to the UEFA Cup final, and then these were the games we were going to play towards the end of the league campaign. We just had to get on with it as professionals. That's all you can do.
Okay, let's discuss some other news emerging. Ruffy, Kenny Miller fails in his red card appeal. He'll now miss the game against Hibs and Hamilton a week later. Any surprise there?
No, not for me. I think the thing that went against Kenny was the distance he'd slid in from. Yeah, we know there wasn't a great deal of contact, but we're trying to stop players by sliding in at that distance with their studs, because somebody will eventually get a broken ankle. So, no, I'm not surprised he never got off with it.
Okay, there's the small matter of the Europa League coming up, Celtic against Rosenborg. We already know Nicholas Bentner struggling to make that game. Christopher Ayer could be out for Celtic. Looks as if Filip Benkovic will go in there and make his European debut for Celtic. They've played Rosenborg before, they know all about it, and Brendan Rodgers, speaking today ahead of the game, said this is the level Celtic should be operating at the moment.
It's where we deserve to have been. You know, you were not entitled to be in the Champions League. We didn't qualify. Simple as that. So we arrive in the competition that we deserve to be in. So we respect that, and it's our duty to go on and get as far as we possibly can.
Well, you can read into that in 4 or 5 different ways if you listen to those words and read between the lines. I think it's a source of frustration that is their level. He didn't want that. I think if you go all the way back to the reason why they're in the Europa League, you can pin it right back to, for me, the board in the summer. I think he's just saying, this is the team, this is the expectation you should have for the squad I have.
Yeah, certainly if he made 3 or 4 top signings, the level that he would expect it would be Champions League. And I think he's having a sly wee dig there, saying, listen, this is the level that we're at just now is Europa League. So you can sense a bit of disappointment, whether he's having a go at the board or whoever makes the signings, or if he puts 3 or 4 signings down and it's not happened. You can see he's clearly disappointed. He wanted to strengthen the team. It was the best time to strengthen the team and on top of Scottish football. So I think there's a sense of frustration in there.
Yeah, okay. What are they going to achieve in the Europa League? Well, Kieran Tierney reckons as long as they're better than what they achieved last season.
Well, the aim is always progression. We would like to go through, of course. Heard the gaffer saying like 10 points can usually get you through, and the aim is to win all your home games, as he said, and pick up what you can away. Obviously, we came third in the Champions League group, get through. We didn't do ourselves justice away from home, but if we can better that this year, then it's progression.
There are some people, I'm not quite sure whether they've been let out of their house, that suggest they could go all the way to the Europa League final. Ruffy, I think that's living in cloud cuckoo land.
Yeah, I think once the bigger sides drop out of the Champions League, it'll be a tough tournament to win. There is obviously quality in there already. You don't know how the draw's going to go. But it's a shame, where they are, because I think when Brendan Rodgers came to the club, that's all he talked about was Champions League football. And all he talked about was improving year on year in the Champions League. But, I mean, obviously Celtic are operating on a different level for everybody else, but they've just done the same as everybody else. They've sold all their quality players and not replaced them. Yeah. And that's where they are.
Yeah, maybe not all of them, Ruffy.
A lot of them.
Key
ones.
Yeah. Okay.
Down through the years.
Yeah, down through the years, yep, I accept that point from you. What about the fans think? We caught up with Celtic fan Ryan Fitzsimmons to get his thoughts on Celtic against Rosenborg tomorrow night.
It's a bit of a mixed one, to be honest with you, but do you know what? I'm feeling pretty confident for the game. It's a game I think we should be capable of taking home the 3 points, but we'll see how it goes, I suppose.
They've been over the coals before with the team from Norway. What do you make of this one on Thursday?
It's interesting, obviously. We've played Rosenborg a number of times now over the past 2 years. We've put them on in 4 separate occasions, and it's a team who haven't actually beaten us. So that gives me a bit of confidence in this. Arguably, this is the easiest game of the group stage. I don't think any team, when it comes to European competition, is like an easy game. At the end of the day, they're still one of the biggest teams in their respective league. They are flying high just now. They're in great form. They're top of the league. They're arguably on a similar level to Celtic, but out of the rest of the teams in the group, Salzburg, Leipzig, this is the game that probably means the most. We need to get the 3 points for this game. And judging by past performances, it's going to be a difficult one. They don't make life easy. But, I mean, it's Celtic Park. Hopefully the crowd gets behind the team. That 12-man effect comes in, and we'll be able to. We beat them 3-1 earlier in the season. There's no reason why we can't do that again.
Yeah. Do you think Celtic should be thinking about winning this group?
Winning it would be difficult, but we should always aim for it. I'd say. We're in there with one of the best teams in Germany at the minute, in Leipzig. They've got a fantastic team, and they have kind of been on the rise over the last few years. So in my opinion, they should be the favourites to win the group. They've got players there like Timo Werner, Emil Forsberg. These are players who played at the World Cup, and they're a really high calibre. They're top of some of the best players in the Bundesliga. So arguably they should be the team who are taking home the group. But if we play our cards right, if we can get the important points, the points that mean the most at Parkhead, and just try our best to go away from home and avoid some batterings, there's no reason why we can't top the group. But it's difficult. The Austrian champions are in there. One of the top teams in Austria are in there, along with Leipzig and Rosenborg. So it wouldn't be an easy group to top, but it's something that we should probably set our eyes on, because it's capable at the end of the day if we play our best football.
Yep, okay, that's the Celtic fans' perspective. We'll hear from a Rangers fan just shortly. Villarreal against Rangers. Does that bring back memories for you?
Yeah, it does. The biggest memory for me was obviously Boydie missing that chance. It wasn't like him. We played well tonight.
Yeah.
That night they had some really, really good players. They're a really good team. We played really well tonight. It was a great game. A lot of good memories leading up, going up to the stadium. It was just full of Rangers fans. There was a great atmosphere. And we played well in the night. And another day.
I just remember that Boydie miss now, because I was working at the game. I mean, it was an absolute sitter.
It's not like him.
Sticks them away.
Yeah, listen, it's one of the ones where 9 times out of 10 Boydie sticks that in the back of the net. It's just one of the things. Look, after the game, he was disappointed, but you don't blame him. Look, we've all been in that situation. You miss chances. It's a team game, but it's a great place to go and play, Villarreal. Good stadium as well. Good atmosphere. I don't think they're as strong as now as they were back then, but it's still a difficult game for Rangers.
Yeah, well, they've got Santi Cazorla. They announced him in spectacular fashion, coming out of a smoke-filled magic chamber. But they've got players that can certainly cause Rangers problems. But the manager seems to be in optimistic mood.
Quietly confident we can go there and get a result. We're playing against a good team with very technically gifted players, and we respect Villarreal, but with the underdogs, we've got nothing. We go in and try and give a good show of ourselves, and I'll try and pick a team that's organised, hard to play against, but carries a threat going the other way as well.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Rangers play this one, Ruffy, because as we look at the set of games coming up, the league, well, we're always looking at where the big tests were coming. This is a real test, I think, where it'll be interesting to see how he adopts a European attitude to this.
Yeah, well, this is a level up from the European teams he's been playing, but he hasn't done anything wrong, home or away. I keep saying that most of the games away from home, Alan was the star man. I think that'll be the case again, but if they can come away with anything out of that game, it'll be a bonus. But it's good you play in European football and you get the confidence of going away from home, and all right, you might be digging out a result, but it gives you a lot of confidence.
It's a big test for this squad, because a lot of them are not used to playing European football on a Thursday night and going back into it on a Sunday. I know Celtic, their squad certainly in the last couple of years have been used to playing during the week in Champions League. It was on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, then playing on a Saturday. So that's going to be the biggest test for me, how they handle the weekend games coming back off the European game.
Yeah, well, we caught up with the Rangers fan David Brown to get his thoughts on Villarreal.
Well, I think they were getting them at a good time, to be honest. They've had 1 win from 4 in the La Liga, which I don't think we can actually look into too much, but if you are looking at it, then it's quite good, to be honest. I watched them at the weekend just to get a gauge of how they were playing and stuff like that, and like any Spanish team, kept the ball really well. Carlos Bacca came off the bench, scored a goal. He's going to be really dangerous, but I'm feeling confident. It's
a difficult place to go at the best of times. I was there commentating the last time Rangers actually played against Villarreal. That was a good Rangers side, but found it really difficult to try and get the win. Would you be happy with a draw in the opening match?
I would definitely be happy with a draw. I would take a draw. I would take a nut in each or a one each in a heartbeat, if I'm honest, over there. Great team. So we just need to go over there, do ourselves proud. I think we need to stay nice and compact, and if we can hit them at the counter-attack, that would be great. I think their left back is probably the weakest out of the four. So I think if we can get up that side, Tavernier, try and get a cross in the box, I think we could nick a goal. But a draw, yeah, I would take a draw.
Yeah. What about your overall view of Rangers in that group? It's not the easiest.
Pleasant. But I think if we put a good show of ourselves away from home, try and get some points on the board at home as well, then I'll be happy. I'll be really happy. And to be honest, we've exceeded expectations even getting to the group stages, in my opinion, anyway. So anything from here on out is a bonus.
Yeah, thanks to David Brown and Ryan Fitzsimmons for giving us their thoughts on the programme. Barry's mentioned it will be tough. Villarreal haven't had a great start. They've in 14th place in La Liga. Early days, but I mentioned Cazorla. They'll have other players technically good and sharp and at that level. This is a real test this time. If Rangers get a draw, that would be magnificent, I think.
Oh, it'll be another stepping stone, to where they were at the beginning of the season. And if you can come away with something, that it's always a bonus for the rest of the season. But the organisation for Rangers away from home, even when they went down to the 10 men initially, they handled themselves very well. But as I said earlier, that this is a different league they're playing in now.
OK, Celtic Rosenborg, prediction?
Celtic are too strong, individually and collectively. Celtic will win the game.
OK, Ruffy?
Yeah, I think at home I would go for maybe Celtic 2-0.
Villarreal, Rangers?
Villarreal, I just got a funny feeling Rangers might go there and get something. If they're organised and they all play to their best, and he's got the majority of the first team players playing, I think they could get a 1 each draw.
I'll bite your hand off for a draw. I'll take a draw right now. I think, as you says, you go over there, the weather will be a bit different, and technically they'll be decent as well, but I'll take a draw.
Yeah, you'll take a draw, or you're predicting a draw?
I'll take a draw, and I'll predict a draw.
See, sometimes, Ruffy, you got to drag it out of him, He's getting the same Ruffy-itis that you had. No. OK, a couple of things I want to get your thoughts on. Before we hear from Jonathan Burns, I caught up with him in America. He's out there coaching. He was talking about his dad. And the reason for that, of course, is there's a documentary coming on Friday. About Tommy Burns. We'll be talking about it in the next couple of minutes, so do stay with us. Just a couple of things I want to get your thoughts on. Graham Shinnie, they're holding talks at Aberdeen, hopefully to try and extend his stay. Will Graham Shinnie look at the Aberdeen thing and think maybe going down south, or do you think he'll extend his stay beyond the summer? I
think it's up to the individuals how much he's enjoyed living up there with his family. And I don't think there's many clubs, biting at him just now. So with everything that's happening up at Aberdeen, he might just be the kind of player that's maybe a one-man team. OK, your old teammate Alan McLaren was speaking today, and he mentioned the fact that he reckons Hearts, with the size of squad they have the ability to last the pace in the mix for this battle for the title. I think they'll certainly be in the mix. To win it, I think it might be a bit too far at this moment in time, but again, I'll go back to 5 games, 5 wins, what a start. And again, there's a lot of players they brought in and unknown, but they're settled in really quickly, so I think they've got a real chance of being in the mix. Yeah. Have I just misplaced that there? Was he earlier than you actually broke into the team, Alan McLaren? No, I was there to play with him. I was a young boy when he was there. Yeah. I'm 16, 17. I think I played a few reserve games with him. Yeah, I thought he was a great player, Ruffy. And he scored a goal in a big European night, didn't he? Was it against one of the big sides? Yeah. And am I thinking of Scott Nisbet? Nisbet scored against Bruges. It was from the halfway line, it took a wild deflection, a pigeon hit it, then a car was driving past it, came off the windscreen and ended up in the back of the net, and then Nizzy made a career for 20 years off the back of it. Am I being unkind to him? One thing I will say about Alan McLaren, going back to him, he had problems with his knee. I think if he never had knee problems, he would have been a top player. Wow. He was a top player for me, but he just wasn't at the level because he had obviously knee issues. Yeah, I thought that as well. I agree with you. He was a great player. OK, a couple of things we want to get to now. Let's hear from Jonathan Burns. I caught up with him ahead of the Tommy Burns story, which is a programme put together by Purple TV. And, of course, I know Margot McKagan, quite a few of the team have put this together as a tribute to Tommy Burns. They've done Jim Baxter before as well, and Jimmy Johnston. This one on Friday on BBC Alba at 9 o'clock. Well worthy of your consideration. I've watched it. It's emotional at times, funny. There's a lot of, I think, links to both teams across the city. Tommy Burns is one of those players, I think, that transcended the usual rivalries. The banter was magnificent, and
Of course, I caught up with Jonathan early yesterday to get his thoughts on his old da. Well, I'm delighted to say I am joined by Jonathan Burns, son of the late, great Tommy Burns. And this week is bound to be quite emotional, Jonathan, because the programme comes out on Friday. First of all, how difficult was it for all the family to actually agree to this in the first place?
It was actually quite an easy decision for us, Peter. You know, because we actually knew of the work that had been done before. You know, in the Famous Five films and the Jinky Johnson films, and they were great. You know, so I think we were actually quite excited. You know, that they were making one about my dad, and you know, when we got the phone call to be involved, obviously it was a kind of no-brainer. It was great just to go in there and kind of revisit some old memories and things like that, and it was good fun doing it as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that Margot obviously has an insight into Celtic, and of course the whole Purple TV team have a good track record of success. And when you look at the movie, it really is a celebration of Tommy's life, but also I think it delves a wee bit deeper into, you know, the kids and their recollections as well. How emotional was that for you and the rest, you know, your brother and the two girls, to look back?
Yeah, I mean, I think given the kind of character he was, you know, since he passed, it just left a massive void in all our lives, you know, and it's a void that won't be filled. I think you just learn to live with it, you know, and so it's not kind of every day that you go in and you talk about him, you know. I mean, we think about him every day, obviously, but it's not really the regular that you would go in and speak about the diagnosis or his illness or memories that you had, you know. And so parts of that are emotional for sure, you know. But also, like I say, it's not everybody that has the kind of brilliant memories that we had, and you know, it's some hysterical stories, you know. So it's a piece of work that we can look back on for the rest of our lives and watch, and that's something that we're very grateful to Margot and the rest of the team for. Yeah,
great to catch up with Jonathan. You can see that full interview with Jonathan Burns on PLZ Soccer in the YouTube channel. So fingers crossed. The link will also be there for you to click on it if you want the full interview, where he reflects on some great funny memories and of course the emotional time about losing his dad. And if you want to see the documentary, I'd advise you to watch it. It's on BBC Alba at 9 o'clock, and I'm sure you've got great memories and great laughter with them, both of you, because he was, as well as a good footballer, you know, people liked him as a coach and as a person.
Yep, I obviously worked with him at Scotland, and he was, coaching wise, great fellow midfielder. He would give me pointers and maybe what things that I could improve on. But round about the dressing room, we're at the hotel when it gets to the born stage, he was always round about. The Rangers Celtic banter thing was brilliant with him. And just all in all, just a fantastic guy. If you had any problems, you could go to him. Yeah, that's the type of guy he was.
And the great banter, Ruffy said he was amazed that when Ali and Walter got the Rangers job, that they were a partnership. He couldn't believe that he wasn't asked to join them there at Ibrox.
Yeah, that was just his sense of humour. You know, that was the first thing it would come into his mind. But no, as far as Tommy concerned, competitive right through, even be 6-a-side games. You know, if he picked you in his side, that was a bonus.
Yeah, don't I know it. Anyway, well done to Margot and the Purple TV team for that. Let's hope it's a huge success. Watch it if you can. Stick with us. Don't forget, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and you'll get regular news updates and, of course, the programme every day, Monday to Friday, and much more besides that as well. Look out for it on PLZ Soccer's website and, of course, Twitter and Facebook as well. Thanks to Ruffy. Thanks to Barry Ferguson. From myself, Peter Martin. Thanks for watching.
I think be open about your experiences. I think it's okay to talk about your experiences. You're not any less of a citizen if you talk about your experiences. I think about myself. I hated talking about race. I hated talking about my faith, partly because I'm just a Glasgow boy like anybody else. I don't see myself as that identikit Muslim or an identikit Asian background. I see myself as a West of Scotland boy. So I didn't like talking about race or religion because it was in some ways highlighting my own difference. But you get to a certain point where you find the confidence to speak about these things. I've now got the confidence to speak about these things because I think I'm in mainstream politics now. I don't need to worry about being pigeonholed or labelled as something that I don't want to be labelled as. So my advice to young people would be confident in yourself, be confident in your identity, be proud of your identity. If you experience something, talk about it. If something goes too far, report it and share your experience with others. Because only if you share your experience with others, you'll learn from other people's experiences and hopefully help make a change in our communities.